Most men are never destroyed by an enemy. They are dismantled by the wrong partner, and they call it love. History offers no pity for the man who makes a poor choice. No second chance, only a quiet, steady ruin. Most men understand their mistake only after their potential has already been buried. The problem was never a lack of strength. It was allowing the wrong person past your defenses, not realizing she carried the torch that would burn your world down. You get no warning. Your family won't give it. Your friends don't see it. And the culture benefits from your inability to see clearly. But a philosopher from history understood. He knew a great man's fall was seldom an accident. It was almost always a decision, a careless one, wrapped in beauty and attraction. While today's world sells men fairy tales about romance and devotion, this thinker offered something far more valuable: the truth. He observed that men trust their eyes over their hands. We see the surface, but few ever touch the reality beneath it. The average man is controlled by appearances. The discerning man, however, sees past the facade. He looks beyond the beauty, the style, the appealing words. He studies her habits, her principles, her self-control, not when she's putting on a show, but in the quiet moments when she believes she's truly alone. Let me give you the first uncompromising rule. Women fit into only two categories: an asset or a liability. That is the full list. There are no exceptions. No, she's trying. No gray areas. She either amplifies your existence or she depletes it. Slowly, cleverly, totally. And here's the difficult reality. Many are perfected seeming like an asset while behaving like a parasite. They offer affection while sabotaging your concentration. They cheer your goals while steering you away from them. And you, if you are not in full command of yourself, will name this betrayal love. This message is not about bitterness. It's about tactics. Because if you cannot view your choices with cold objectivity, you will waste your life and label it dedication. The philosopher cautioned that the deceiver always finds a willing victim, and the man who selects based on appearance alone has already agreed to his own defeat. He just hasn't faced the bill yet. The real threat isn't the woman. It's your own lack of judgment. You see, beauty disarms the unprepared man. In an era that teaches men to idolize the image and ignore the core, is it any wonder so many kneel before what seems right while ignoring what is truly right? But this wisdom wasn't penned for dreamers. It was written for leaders. And a true leader never permits the gates of his domain to be opened by an emotion disguised as a gift. A destructive woman doesn't need to scream. She only needs to pull your focus from your goal, your journey, your code. She dims your drive by demanding you justify it. She weakens your resolve by naming it inflexible. And before you know it, you've exchanged your crown for her approval. The wise man recognizes the illusion for what it is, a psychological tool concealed behind charm and flattery. When he evaluates a woman, his first question is never, is she attractive? It is, can she support my purpose without seeking to command it? That is the true examination. And most men never ask it until their foundation has crumbled. Here is your next rule. Never commit to a woman who scorns masculine leadership. Her gentle tone when she wants something means nothing. Her stunning appearance means nothing. If she fights your authority instead of supporting it, walk away. If she questions your path without insight, leave. If she views your power as a problem instead of protection, she is not your partner. She is a tempest wearing a pleasant disguise. The thinker grasped authority. He knew that those who fail to hold it become servants to the very things they hope to command. You believe you can manage her turmoil. You believe you can bargain for esteem. You believe affection will solve it. It will not, because once you pick her, she holds the influence you surrendered. You gave away, wrapped in soft terms like cooperation, empathy, teamwork. But he understood what contemporary men have largely forgotten. It is better to be respected than loved. If you cannot have both, do not misinterpret this. This is not about being harsh. It's about being honored. A man who cannot earn a woman's respect will never hold her faithfulness. A woman will probe your boundaries to locate your backbone. And when she finds it missing, she will scorn you for that absence. She may not depart. She'll remain just long enough to dismantle you. And when she's finished, she'll claim, "You're not the man I met." No, you fell apart, and she was a spectator. You were taught that manhood must be gentle, that command must be a group effort, that true power is about yielding, especially to women. But the philosopher warned what occurs when influence is watered down. It disappears. The instant you let your leadership be debated, you've given it up. She cannot respect a man who is sorry for guiding. She may grin. She may agree, but inwardly she'll know you stand for nothing. And once a woman feels you will bend for her ease, she will lose all wish to stand with you. Because fundamentally, even the most progressive woman desires to follow a man she cannot sway. This doesn't require cruelty. It requires clarity. Clear in your demands. Clear in your aim. Clear in your limits. Because if she can shake you with emotion, charm you into retreat, or debate her way past your rules, you are not her leader. You are her experiment, her pawn, her temporary choice until a man with conviction arrives. You do not gain loyalty from affection. You gain it from being a man who cannot be played. Your third directive is this. Observe how she endures monotony. Any woman can be kind when she's amused, when she receives presents, when your focus is unwavering. But watch what occurs when excitement dies down. Does she build tranquility? Or does she manufacture crisis just to feel significant? This is her genuine character revealed. A woman who requires drama to feel alive will ruin your tomorrow. The instant real life requires steadiness, dedication, or restraint. You need a woman who can exist in calm, not one who sets your world on fire because she feels unstimulated. Then there's a falsehood culture sells you. Her history is unimportant. You're fragile if you consider it. The thinker would dismiss this because he knew past promises were tools for their moment. A broken word is a tool for today. Her past is a preview of your future. The woman who is disloyal before you is not reforming for you. She is refining her technique. If her record is turmoil, her future with you will mirror it. Do not dismiss the alert simply because she looks sincere when she deceives. Next rule. Never link your life's work to someone who scoffs at your calling. You are a man with a direction, or you must become one. And a directed man does not marry a fleeting desire. He aligns with a shared mission. If she mocks your regimen, if she scoffs at your aspirations, if she craves spotlight but ridicules your life's work, she's not your supporter. She's your saboteur. A woman who cannot tolerate stillness will hunger for disturbance. And if none exists, she will generate it. When attention fades, when the presence ceases, when life becomes routine, she grows uneasy. Unease in a woman is not trivial. It is frequently the seed of unfaithfulness, upheaval, and undermining, disguised as emotional freedom. The thinker would name this accurately, an ungoverned spirit, hazardous to any man on a path. If you overlook this trait, she won't ruin you with noise. She'll do it quietly with subtle skepticism, with emotional distance when you concentrate on your work, with bitterness when you refuse to participate in her storms. And then there's her past. You've been told it doesn't matter. That is a lie designed to keep you naive. A woman who leaps from relationship to relationship doesn't prize substance. She prizes newness. A woman who has betrayed others doesn't need rescue. She needs responsibility. You are not her healer. You're not her redemption. You're the next entry in her cycle. Unless you establish a boundary. Study her behaviors, not her pledges. Because a woman who ridicules your mission will one day ridicule your failure and name it progress. Here is a reality no man enjoys hearing. But every genuine man must accept it. If she doesn't worry about losing you, she'll never treasure you. A woman who thinks you'll always stay, no matter her actions, no matter how little value she provides, will come to loathe you. Why? Because what is free has zero worth. And the thinker knew men should be either fully embraced or completely dismissed. There is no compromise. Women will apply this to you. If she cannot lose you, she will dominate you. If she fears losing you, she will strive to meet your expectations. This is not about tricks. It's about maintaining your position. The man who is prepared to leave always holds a control. And no woman honors a man who trades at control for temporary ease. Stop awarding disrespect with more devotion. Stop pleading for faithfulness with acts of despair. Stop curving your spine to escape solitude. The thinker did not write for pliable men. He wrote for sovereigns. And a sovereign does not argue his value. He preserves it. He assesses her. He selects her based on criteria, not impulses. And that brings us to the next command. Choose a woman whose company reinforces your resolve, not relaxes it. The incorrect woman will encourage you to miss your training, mock your borders, and call your drive excessive. She'll do it with a smile. She'll name it affection. But it is betrayal. Because a true woman, an asset, doesn't plead for you to stay weak. She challenges you to remain strong. A woman who doesn't fear your departure will never fully appreciate your presence. She may say she cares. She may even feel it. But without that underlying awareness, that knowledge you could exit at any time, she will slip into apathy or worse, quiet disdain. That's why women naturally test limits. It's not about meanness. It's about verification. They need to know, is this man authentic? Is he solid? Or is he merely acting strong to keep me? If you hesitate, she knows. If you yield, she possesses you. A man who cannot walk away from a woman cannot guide her. And this truth was understood centuries ago, long before modern science labeled it. Respect is grounded in a form of fear. Not fear of harm, but fear of outcome, fear of your departure. And that fear anchors her in truth, not delusion. So while others advise you be vulnerable, the thinker would tell you to hone your will. Because if a woman can remain in your world while insulting your ideals, you're not her leader. You're her entertainment. And history is crowded with men who loved too gently and lost it all. Now, let me address the man who feels caught already. The man who hears this and believes, it's over. I already chose poorly. It is not over, but there will be a cost. It will cost you your ease, your ego, perhaps your resources, perhaps years you cannot reclaim. But ask yourself this, which is more costly, leaving today or decaying slowly for the next 2 decades? Because understand this clearly, the wrong woman will exhaust you, and when you are hollow, she will leave regardless. Not because she is wicked, but because nature has no mercy for a man who refuses to command his own life. The thinker understood people value what they fear losing. And if she doesn't fear losing you, it's because you instructed her not to. Let that end now. You are not here to be an emotional dump, a background player in her tale, a repairman for broken things. You are here to construct, and what you build will either be strengthened by her essence or demolished by her nature. Most modern men do not fail due to weakness. They fail because they were educated to believe their softness is love. They name surrender empathy. They name quietness harmony. They name self-betrayal dedication. But the thinker removed the fantasy. A leader who lacks wisdom himself cannot accept wise counsel. What does that mean? If you are feeble, you will only draw women who feed on that. You'll mistake their chaos for connection, and you'll keep telling yourself you're unfortunate when in fact, you're just undisciplined. The most perilous falsehood a man can believe is, she will improve. No, she will not. She will adjust just enough to keep you trapped. Then she will return to the chaos that secretly energizes her, because you were never a man she followed, just one she handled. The truth is, you are not trapped. You are dependent. Dependent on the hope that this instance will be unique, that the next fight will bring revelation, that your endurance, your hurt, your offerings will be returned with loyalty. They will not, because when you pick the wrong woman, you've entered an agreement where you lose by its very design. Each time you concede to avoid a fight, you lose standing. Each time you mute your truth for quiet, you lose honor. And once she senses your life revolves around her acceptance, she will use it to reshape you into something lesser. These writings were not for men who need coddling. They were for men who need to retake the seat of their own mind. And the first step, acknowledge you surrendered, then ascend, not for payback, but for renewal. Because the man you were is the reason she remained. The man you must become is the reason she has no place in your future. Here is what no inspiring talk will ever tell you. No woman is your ultimate purpose. Not a single one. Your purpose is your duty, your self-mastery, your lasting impact. A woman can assist it or corrode it, but she can never be it. Yet most men today reverse this. They make her the duty. They circle her moods. They wake each morning seeking her validation, and then wonder why her respect fades. Because women do not trust men who orbit them. They trust men who orbit nothing but their own cause. That is why the same woman who disrespects one man will reverence another. Not because she transformed, but because the context transformed. Here is a hard lesson. Never choose a woman who cannot prosper in your absence. You wish to know her real self? Withdraw. Become scarce. Observe. Does she grow, or does she crumble the moment your focus shifts? If she cannot maintain the standard when you're not looking, she will abandon it the moment life challenges you. The thinker taught rulers to strengthen their holdings, to secure their frontiers. You are no different. Your energy is your stronghold. Your standards are your gates. Allow the wrong woman inside, and it won't be a loud attack. It'll be a silent erosion from within. And here's the part that hurts. Most men who fell saw she was wrong. They simply lacked the courage to turn away. A man without a cause becomes a servant to his feelings and a slave to hers. And the moment you put a woman at the core of your existence, she instinctively starts to test if you were ever built to lead. She doesn't want to be your reason to breathe. She wants to feel the heat of your drive. That is why your absence is a final test. Not to manipulate, but to uncover her nature. Does she stay firm? Does she protect what you created? Or does she seek approval elsewhere the second you stop feeding her self-esteem? Most men never conduct this test because they dread what they might discover. And that dread binds them to a dream instead of binding them to their own truth. Your standards are not requests. They are protections against exploitation, against aversion, against decay. The thinker warned leaders never to allow foes to the gates, but modern men hand the keys to women they scarcely know, then weep treachery when their peace is ash. You are not just guarding your heart, you're guarding your legacy. And the woman you pick is either helping you reinforce it, or she is laying stones to your collapse while smiling in your embrace. Let me tell you why most men dismiss every warning sign. Because deep down they believe they are the special case. You think your love is unique. You think your patience will transform her. You think if you wait long enough she'll finally recognize your value. She will not. You are not her parent. You are not her counselor. You are not her deity. You are a man. And a man's time is his life. Every minute you spend trying to rebuild a woman who refuses to evolve is a minute you rob from your future self. The thinker was blunt. The wise man acts immediately what the fool acts on eventually. If you stay with the wrong woman because you're terrified to rebuild, you're not being faithful. You're just postponing your ruin. And here is a confession most men will not make. You selected her. Whether through desire, isolation, or poor requirements, you welcomed her in. You overlooked the signals. You quieted your instinct, and now you're paying the price. But the pain only continues if you keep deceiving yourself. Because the core truth is this. No woman has ever destroyed a man's life. He did that by choosing her. And unless you accept that, you'll repeat the pattern, blaming women, blaming society, blaming misfortune when the true adversary is your refusal to elevate your demands. Your downfall did not start when she failed you. It started the instant you refused to see her honestly. You justified the warnings. You idealized the dysfunction. You told yourself, she's different, while your spirit was already shouting, escape. But you stayed, not from power, but from fright. Fear of rebuilding. Fear of solitude. Fear of confessing that you invested your hours, your effort, your heart into someone who never deserved it. And the thinker would state the truth you evade. He who permits himself to be misled is already halfway defeated. You didn't just choose her, you guarded her reputation. Even as she drained you, you defended her to allies. You created reasons for her scorn. And now the cost is your calling. But here is the awakening. You don't require more evidence. You require more self-regard. Because every moment you spend excusing her place in your life is a moment stolen from the man you are meant to become. She didn't ruin you. She exposed you. The part of you still hooked on drama, on approval, on potential. That version of you must end, because no true partner will follow a man who bows to his own delusions. Here is a principle that will either liberate you or keep you enslaved to disorder. You do not ascend by getting lucky with women. You ascend by being strict with your requirements. The world will not cheer you for this. They'll ridicule you, name you domineering, claim you're harsh, icy, poisonous. But let them speak. Because the man who stands alone with inner quiet is wealthier than the one surrounded by chaos disguised as love. If something within you moved today, if you felt reality burn through your illusions, do not ignore this moment. Because this wisdom wasn't written for boys seeking comfort. It was written for men prepared to succeed. And to succeed, you must grasp that every woman you allow near your life is either honing your blade or blunting it. There is no neutral party. There is no safe selection. She will either feed your duty or become the quiet adversary within your own walls. So make your choice like a sovereign, not a supplicant. Evaluate her, challenge her, Step back and witness what emerges in your absence. Because any woman can behave when watched. The real inquiry is, who does she become when you're not looking? If she lives by her code when no reward is in sight, you may have found something precious. But if she wanders the moment you cease pursuing, she was never yours to begin with. So choose with wisdom, lead with conviction, and never forget, a man who fears losing a woman is already owned by her. But a man who fears losing his purpose owns his destiny. If you found value in this, please like, share, and subscribe to Winds of Thought. Consider supporting the channel.